Everybody, don't get anxious. Get prepared. Your career engineer right here. And today we're going to have a real conversation about this new phenomenon happening called the boomerang employee. Like the boomerang. Like y'all know when you do the boomerang, like you hit the thing and it goes round, round, round and it comes on back. We're finding that that's kind of happening in the workspace. So get your pen and your paper ready or your digital device. We're going to talk about for that boomerang employee and that boomerang employer some of the things that you need to know before you say yes again. So don't go anywhere. We are coming right back. Hey, told y'all, it doesn't take me long. We're here right back. And again, thank you for watching us here. Find us everywhere at tcenow.com. You can follow our socials. You can join our newsletter. You can subscribe to everything. And of course, join our community. But definitely, we thank you for being with us live or later on the very platform you're enjoying. And if you are enjoying us right now, feel free to follow, subscribe, do all the things you need to do so you don't miss another opportunity for some brand new content. But as we shared today, we're going to get into this tips for the boomerang employee, like welcome back. And they are coming back. At least that's what a particular LinkedIn survey said. So we're going to share that a little bit and talk more about my take on all of this new boomerang thing. I'm trying to make sure, am I boomeranging right there? I think I'm sort of boomeranging myself on what this means for you. And if you're one of the folks that might be coming back, some things to just think about. Make sure you hit us up and subscribe to our TCE Weekly. You can get that every Friday morning in your inbox. It's like TCE with your cup of tea, right? I'm with your cup of tea every Friday, giving you news, tips, and tricks to make sure Monday mornings are awesome, right? Awesome. So listen, what are we learning with the I'm back, right? Tips for the boomerang employee. Whichever platform you're enjoying this on, there should be a source link. This is actually a LinkedIn report that was done, and some other sources talked about this phenomenon. So I just really want to give my take on it. So according to the sources, here's what we're finding for this boomerang employee. Let me just say who that person is. That boomerang person, the person that left, like in the beginning of after the COVID, we had this huge the great quit or the great resignation or the great migration, whatever you want to call it. They jumped and left and ran because you know what? Everyone was increasing the dollars. Come work here. And they did. They went quick, fast, in a hurry. Some of them, not all of them, but went somewhere, got more pay or a better deal, and then something happened, right? So let's check this out. So according to the sources, the average time of someone to boomerang back, and that means they left, but they went back. They went back to their previous employer, or even the employer asked them to come back. Because employers are businesses too, right? They're still networking with folks, current employees and past employees. So, but it seemed like, according to the sources here, that it's a 17-month time span. And that's kind of what the average has been when someone left something for greener pastures, but it really won't that greens, right? That's what we find out. And it's been like a 17 months. And again, why are people leaving and why are they boomeranging? You thought it was better on the other side. But here's what happened. You may have just ran because you saw the green lawn or the green money, but you didn't dig a little deeper to make sure some of the things perhaps that are concerned to you at your current employer does not show up or isn't disguised or buried underneath some rubble that will erupt soon. That's more of the same thing, right? So you thought it was greener, but when you got up in there and you got away from the decoration, you found out ain't nothing different here under the sun, right? And so that's what happened. And you said, "Oh, I want to come back," or perhaps the employer somehow felt you wasn't that happy and said, "You know what? We've done some reorganization over here. We've done some realignment over here, and maybe now if you come back, you can get this better deal in a better place." And they're sort of embracing that, right? So that's kind of what's been going on. Like I said, people thought things were green. and you found out it was not. Some of you even found out like within 30 days. Some found out 90 days, but again, the literature has said it's about 17 months for the boomerang to come back if it's that kind of thing. So let's just say, this happens. You're in that space, you're the boomerang employee or you're the employer welcoming you back. What is the benefit of this? I mean, is there a benefit? Right. So according to some of the sources, there are a couple of benefits. I mean, as long as you left the right way. So that's where folk be forgetting. There I go again. That's where folks forget stuff, right? It's not just about, why I want to say be and ain't today. I'm not sure what's up with that. But it's not just about jumping over and getting the best money for the buck. You've got to think it through. You have to be strategic and intentional. I'm big on those two words, right? So, but the benefit, let's just say you left the right way. And what is the right way? In a professional way, folks. You didn't cuss somebody out or just like didn't show up the next day and say, I'm out of here because I got $10 more at the competitor. You left in a decent way, a responsible way, a professional way, right? And even though most states you may not have to, but it's customary to give a 2-week notice or more, depending on your level of responsibility. But what's the benefit? Well, you know the culture if you decide to boomerang back. You've been there. You know the culture. You may know the players, even though there may have been some shifting. Maybe you were with the company a good long time before the pandemic realignment. So you know the roots of the company and what they're about and what they stand for. So that gives the employer an added value that they don't have to train someone and all that again. You've been there. You know it. So that helps to fast track onboarding as well. Because let's just face it, some of your old personnel records might still be kind of lukewarm. Right? I mean, you've only been gone 90 days, 6 months, or the 17 months as they shared in the literature. So it can, fast track the onboarding process, just get you signed back up to the services and the results. If you're coming back to the same job or a job in that category, again, you know the culture, you know the expectations, you're familiar with the tools and the workplace tools to help to get the job done. And you should be able to do results in a faster, effective, and efficient way, correct? So those are the things that can really be a benefit as long as both of you left on good terms, okay? In some cases, what we're finding, again, according to the literature, and you can look at the source right in the description of this broadcast. It's like my hat's on a different way. There we go. How about that? Some employers are like literally embracing you. Like I said, there are some employers that went after you that will ask, hey, how is it going over there at, XYZ company? Oh, because over here, we just put a pool in the break hall. Do they have that? Would you like to come back? I mean, I'm just being a little facetious here, but you get what I mean, right? So some cases, your alumni, like, homecoming, those of you who went to school, college, there's a homecoming every year. Everybody comes back. You're embraced. It's nice to see you. Come on back. Things are different. Some employers are embracing the boomerang employee that way, particularly if you were an exceptional employee, you brought exceptional value, and they really are hurting since you left, right? If you're a mediocre person, I'm just keeping it real. I'm not saying you're mediocre. I'm saying you're talent, okay? If you've gone and the employer don't feel the pain, you may not be looked upon as an alumni. I'm just keeping it real. Remember, performance is everything. But again, let me not digress. So they will embrace you like coming home, right? Coming back home, welcome back, versus the betrayal of you leaving them in the first place. Okay. That tends to work for those folks who are, again, push button talent. We really didn't want you to go, but we understood we couldn't meet the salary, or we couldn't meet the new demands, or we couldn't meet the remote working conditions that you said were non-negotiable, that type of thing. But so they'll welcome you back, and versus being a betrayal of leaving. Now, who years ago, this was not even a conversation. Not really. This was, if you left and the grass won't greener, too bad. You're just eating the dirt. I mean, employers did not embrace the comeback, the boomerang. But now it is a different type of party. It just seems the pandemic has really changed how we work, why we work, and where we work, right? So, but here is a concern. We cannot skip this. This is a big deal. What protection does the employer have that you're not going to do it again? Let's say you are the boomerang employee, okay? And You made a mistake. You jumped the boat a little too soon. You didn't ask all the right questions. You didn't interview the interviewer. By the way, I have a video called Interview the Interviewer. You need to check that out. And, so how do we know as the employer, you're not going to do this again? That you're not going to be the runaway bride again, right? So the second time around, you're a great talent. They're going to embrace you back as long as things are decent and in order. But be prepared. They want to know, okay, we welcome you back. We're so glad you're coming home. But what's different this time around? I mean, what expectations do you have different for us? What expectations do I have that's different for you? It's a big concern because even though you're onboarding and you knowing the company culture is fantastic, it saves them time, treasure, and talent, you're still expensive. It's still expensive to get you back. So what protections does the employer have to make sure or to do the best they can to assess if you're going to jump again? Well, here's what you need to expect: some intense screening. I mean, really, they're going to have a real conversation with you. And not that they can't, stop you from leaving again, but let's keep it real. Okay, if you left before because of XYZ, well, now we've done some things different with XYZ. Where are we on that? Are we on the same page? Is there something else you're looking for this time around? Or will this work? Expect some screening, some more intense screening for the boomerang to block and tackle again I call it the runaway bride syndrome. Now, some of you may have saw the movie Runaway Bride. It's a keeper back in the day, but we don't want a third time all over again. So if you are boomerang back, make sure and just be prepped for that questioning, because I would do it. I mean, why wouldn't I? You left me once. You want to come back? I mean, just think about your relationships, right? Someone left you. They want to come back. Aren't you going to set some terms and conditions? So is it true in the workforce, right? So what's the bottom line? Here's what I want to share to folks. Again, those of you who might still be considering grass greener on the other side, listen, that could be fake sod. You don't know what's underneath that grass. So please don't just take a new job for the money. Particularly if you've been somewhere that you've got some longevity, you might have a great opportunity to make a deal. You have influence. You might be able to create something that wasn't possible years ago before you jump. But if you do jump and you decide to go somewhere else or things happen, all I'm going to say to you, if you leave, please keep all your options open. It is not a bad thing now to go back. People are doing it. Employers are chasing. Yeah, I think that's a good word. They're chasing their past talent that they may have lost to see how they can win them back. Reverse headhunting, if you will. But don't burn those bridges. I mean, I'm telling you, there's some for all the generations from we have a workforce now that we've got just about every single generation in there. The Z's are even showing up early on, right? But here's a lesson learned, come from the Gen X playbook. Don't burn those bridges because you might be a boomerang. You never know where you're jumping to. Hopefully you're interviewing thoroughly where you think you're going. You need to ask those questions, yes, even that one, before you say yes, so you can know where you're getting into. Folks are spending a lot of money on making websites look great and show this camaraderie or a wonderful culture of caring or all this. And then you show up at the place and it can look totally different. So make sure you're interviewing the employer to make sure you're asking whatever question was a concern of the other employer before you left. Make sure the new place isn't there. But hey, let's say you jumped and it was a bad idea. You made a mistake and you want to go back. That right there, Gen X playbook right there. Never burn those bridges, even the technology bridges, because you don't know where someone else is going to be if you have to boomerang back, because it happens. Okay, it really happens. So listen, I want to make sure you all have a fantastic week. We thank you for being a part of this broadcast. Remember, you can catch all of our replays and all of our content everywhere. Again, you can hit us up, tcenow.com. Follow us socially, join our newsletter. You can subscribe to the platform you're looking at now. Make sure you're following us. Your comments, we love them, whether we have them live or later. You can always put it right here in the chat of where you're watching, and I will respond. Or, hey, shoot me an email, info@tcenow.com, info@tcenow.com. Looking forward to answering your questions. And you never know. Sometimes your question could be a broadcast. You never know, because y'all have some really good questions and they make me go, Right? Make you think about these things, okay? But again, today our focus was talking about those I'm back tips for that boomerang employee and that employer that might be taking them back. Of course, when we're live today, we welcome any questions or comments that you may have. And I like to always showcase, hey, Lady V's in the house. Good afternoon to you. Well, good afternoon. Thanks for popping in. And sometimes we'll do these, like we tried to do it actually every Monday around 12 noon. Had some coaching clients this morning, so I had to, and plus I had some TV work today, so I had to back that out. But let us know again. What we try to put this sometimes on our Facebook page, our LinkedIn. I'm kind of not feeling LinkedIn that well for broadcasting. That's just me. Oh, I digress. Did I just say that? Yeah, I'm still recording. It's a great place, but sometimes you got to make sure the tool works with what you need to do, right? Of course, our Twitter page and, of course, Facebook. So we thank you all for being here. So, again, any comments or things you have, please let us know. We would love to answer your questions and things of that nature. So, again, that boomerang, they're coming back within 17 months, according to the LinkedIn report. So, again, I want to thank you all so much for joining me. What else do I want to say to y'all? Like I said, I was trying to find it. Yeah, this is live. This is what happens when you're live. You're trying to find the stuff you're trying to find, and you can't find it. You're scrolling. There it is. Again, you can find us everywhere at tcenow.com, tcenow.com. And send us your questions, put it here, and I'll be more than happy to get back with you to answer any questions that you may have. Let's see. Vaughn says, remember the why you left is still there most likely. Yeah, it could be. Listen, and this is a good point that Lady V, we call her Lady V for those who are wondering, because that's just who she is, yo. But yeah, now I am not speaking to toxic employees, okay, employers. I'm not talking about that. If you're in a toxic environment, and you all know what that is. I mean, you shouldn't have to go to work and wonder if you're gonna make it out of there alive, or you've got folks who are just unhealthy. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, we're not talking that. But we're like, hey, somebody offered you 20 grand more. Ooh, that's a lot of money in it. And you took it. But oh my God, when you got there, the job is not what they said it was. And now you might want to go back home. I'm speaking to that and just letting you know that the boomerang is really happening. There are some employers that are reaching back to those who left if they were high value talent, and those who left are saying yes to the dress again. It is happening. So just be prepared for that if that's you in that situation. So we're finding a whole lot more of that happening. To those of you, again, who are thinking about that, taking that leap, y'all know, I'm all about taking healthy risks. Keyword, healthy risks, right? Same thing happens when we're dealing with the workforce, right? When we're dealing with the workforce. So, on that note, I am going to say I want y'all to have a wonderful week. Make it fantastic, make it powerful, make it purposeful. Okay, let all your gifts and talents rock in the places and the spaces that you are, and make me TCE proud. Okay, so I want y'all to be blessed, and I will catch up to you next time. Again, don't get anxious, get prepared, be blessed.